Dear audience, welcome to Espoo, Metro Arena to the ISU Grand Prix Espoo 2022 competitions. This is an event of the International Skating Union hosted by the Finnish Federation.
Welcome back to the Espoo Metro Arena in Finland for the final event on the International Skating Union's Grand Prix of Figure Skating. This the second day of competition following the short programs and rhythm dance which were completed yesterday in this amazing venue. The Espoo Metro Arena opened in 1999 with an almost 7,000 seat capacity. And as we mentioned yesterday, home to the Finlandia Trophy for multiple years, that one of the events on the International Skating Union's Challenger Series. And it will be the home of the European Championships at the start of 2023. And skaters yesterday appreciating how wonderful it is to perform in this magnificent venue on the illustrious stage of the Senior Grand Prix. As the judges are introduced to the audience here, shortly we'll get to see the first group of skaters competing in the pairs free skate. But first, chance to look at the beautiful city of Espoo, the second most populated city in Finland. Winter sports, very popular. The venue here used primarily for hockey often. It's certainly home to brilliant synchronized skating, which is one of Finnish skating's greatest strengths. No Finnish representatives in the pairs event, but we can look forward to seeing 3 Finnish women compete in the women's free skate, which will follow the pairs competition. So as we look to this final event on the Grand Prix Series, the opportunity for some of the teams to vie for the final remaining spot on the Grand Prix final next month. The top 6 teams in the standings after all 6 events qualify to compete in Torino in 2 weeks' time. And the couples in the starting order of 6th and 8th, probably the most likely to attain one of that final spot. Ghilardi and Ambrosini from Italy have a comfortable lead after yesterday's short programme, which they will use to try and book a ticket to Italy. You can see now the panel of judges and shortly the technical panel who will be assigning levels to the elements in the free skate. 11 elements to be completed for all 8 of the pair teams. 2 side-by-side jumping passes, 2 throw jumps, 3 lifts, a pair combination spin, and a death spiral alongside a choreography sequence. And we were treated last week at the NHK Trophy to some brilliant skating, particularly by the winners Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kihara. They've won both of their Grand Prix events. As to have Alexa Kneedham and Brandon Frazier from the United States of America, the world champions, and they will go head to head 2 weeks' time in Torino. And now the teams take to the ice. First they will be introduced to the audience, sounding more vocal today. On the second day of competition at the weekend in Espoo. The first of the two Italian teams, Anna Valencia and Manuela Piazza. And the twins, Greta Crafoord and John Crafoord. And the first of the two teams representing the Netherlands, Nika Osipova and Dimitri Epstein. Followed by Daria Danilova and Mihail Tsiba. You can see three of the teams scoring short program scores in the mid-40s. Still some room for movement with the free skate. And the first team, Anna Valencia and Manuel Piazza, will be eager to move up closer to the 5th place result that they had at Skate America in their first Grand Prix assignment. The team struggled yesterday. They had an unfortunate and uncharacteristic mistake on the opening split twist. Hard to recover from that disappointment. And then 5 of the 7 elements for the team had a minus grade of execution. But only been together just over a year, so this massive learning stage in their development. And you see double to double axel for Anna. Anna started skating in Como, the same rink as Anna Capellini, who went on to win the World Ice Dance Championships. And here, Greta Crafoord. Just the most amazing story of her return to competition following that horrendous injury. If you hadn't seen on social media the picture of the injury and the staples in her knee and what she's gone through, it's hard to comprehend that she could be here competing on the Senior Grand Prix and now their second Grand Prix assignment of the series. They were 8th at Skate America, but just quite mind-blowing that they were able to compete at all, given what she's gone through with the horrendous injury that she's had. And the double axels that eluded them in the short program yesterday. Nika Osipova and Dimitri Epstein. Nika formerly skated with Alexander Galyamov, who's the Olympic bronze medalist. And they've recently had success. They finished 2nd at the Ice Challenge in Graz in Austria. And they'll be hoping to edge closer to their compatriots and teammates who will follow them in the starting order. Here, the second Dutch team, Daria Danilova and Michael Tsiba, 9th at the World Championships. And they were 6th in this very arena at the Finlandia Trophy. Very famed and experienced coaching staff rinkside in this first warm-up group with Fedor Klimov, the Olympic silver medalist from 2014, supporting Danilova and Tsiba. Struggling a little there for Anna Valesi from Italy on the throw. And the Italian team that will open the pairs free skate. The coach acknowledging that this is a dream to participate for them on the Grand Prix. Inclusion in the Grand Prix is an invitational event. And so to be asked to take part in this caliber of competition, a real coup for many of these teams, and we're seeing lots of new teams and opportunities for teams to really step into the spotlight, as is expected in a post-Olympic cycle. We've seen some incredible pair skating at the last 2 Olympic Games. Back in 2018 in Pyeongchang, Alyona Savchenko, who's now rinkside, and Andrei Hoterek, also rinkside, were part of that. And now this a time which, as described by Canadian former world champion Megan Duhamel, a regeneration process for the pairs discipline. As we see some of the fans rinkside. Starting the second day of competition in Espoo, Italy's Anna Valesi and Manuel Piazza using snow patrols, chasing cars. Immeasurably better start than yesterday. Split triple twist. Despite a step out, that better than the warm-up. Throw triple flip. Double Sacco from Manuel.
just forget the world. If I lay here, just lay here,
Amazing salvage job there on the left. Well, keeping Anna safe.
if I just lay here, would you lie with me and just forget the world?
Were not the skate of dreams that they would have aspired to have performing in Finland for Anna Valencia and Manuel Piazza. But good to see the interaction and connection between the team as they finish. And I just feel that they're in such good hands with the coaching staff that they have. Talking to Coach Andre Otarek before the event, he expressed that the desire for this competition, as was the case in their first Grand Prix assignment, is to create a good atmosphere and positive experience. And although this was not the optimal skate, I feel that they're in an environment which will source and seek out the positives from the experience. And certainly Manuel did incredibly well there in salvaging what could have been a really scary moment in the final Group 5 lift. And not only is there positivity and good psychological support from their coaching staff, but they also work with Anna Cappellini and Luca Lanotti, former world ice dance champions, on the choreography. So great input as well. This, much better than yesterday. Triple twist was what they had that horrible fall on at the start of the program in the short. And the triple flip, she fell on in warm up. A step out here, less of a deduction. Gorgeous commitment to the extension. And there was a fantastic dismount from this, the Group 3 lift. The first of the 3 required lifts. Just to throw double loop. As I mentioned yesterday, Manuel, born in Ortese, the same town as Carolina Kostner, to whom he is a relation. And Anna started her skating career in Como, the same rink as her choreographer Anna Cappellini, and that a rink which takes skaters from early stage development right through to elite level. That not something that is common in the international skating community. That to be celebrated for sure. So many Italian teams on the circuit. The retirement of Nicole Della Monica and Matteo Garise. No detriment to Italian skating because there are so many teams coming through. And we'll see Ghilardi and Ambrosini compete at the end of this event, vying to be the second Italian team to qualify for the Grand Prix final in 2 weeks' time in their home nation. And they're in the kissing crowd. They're joined by Andre Otarek, who himself, brilliant pair skater, competing at Olympic Games with Valentina Marquet. And the score won't be optimal. They had a 98.89 at Nebelhorn Trophy earlier in the season. And then this down 84.66.
Their total competition score is 129.02 points. Seuraavana Ruotsista from Sweden, Crafoord, John Crafoord.
Another team who competed at Skate America in the first of the 6 Grand Prix. Here in the final event of the series. Disappointing short with a 45.79. Step out for Greta on the double axel. Difficult and unique transition there.
Easy.
Swedish pair team, the twins Greta Crafoord and John Crafoord, complete their free skate at the Grand Prix Espoo. Although that was a watered down technical content, I have to appreciate what has been accomplished in their such a speedy return to competition from an injury which few would have returned from at all, never mind to compete on the Senior Grand Prix stage. 5 months off the ice for Greta, having broken her kneecap in half, forced to learn just to walk again. Amazing testament to her resilience and the teamwork between she and her twin brother John in returning to competition. I'm sure that the reason that both throws were double jumps. Side by side double axel, side by side double flip, and the split double twist, of which very good quality. So John struggled with the double axel in this short program. It's downgraded. I think it's still a quarter rotation short. You can see him looking interesting. You can see that John looking down at the tracing to inspect the amount of rotation done. Skaters able to tell themselves very early on how much of the rotation is done on the ice, and they'll know only too well the consequences of that on the base value of their elements. John giving it away a little bit with his facial reaction to the under-rotated double axel that he performed today. This team assigned to Grand Prix Espoo less than 2 weeks ago. They were intending to compete at the Warsaw Cup, but withdrew from that in order to prepare for this prestigious event. And although technically relatively simple compared to other Senior Grand Prix events that we have seen in previous seasons, some interesting moments of choreography, even the very opening of the program. And that down to Alyona Savchenko, their coach. I'm sure will be eager to recreate the successes that she has enjoyed as a competitor for her students in the coming seasons. Alyona Savchenko, one of the most decorated and successful pair skaters of all time. Multiple world titles with different partners. Multiple appearances at Olympic Games, so she knows what is necessary for success and will instill in that the many students that she has. They posted an 82.34 at Skate America in week 1 of the Grand Prix series. Good to see the support between the twins. An 81.58 for the Swedish team. And they move just below Italy's Anna Valencia and Manuel Piazza. And we wish them continued good health for the rest of the season. A team that came second at the Ice Challenge in Graz a couple of weeks ago. First of 2 Dutch teams here. Nika Osipova and Dimitri Epstein. Side by side double toe for Nika. Great effort. Throw triple salchow later in the programme. Nika Osipova and Dimitri Epstein from the Netherlands complete their free skate in Grand Prix Espoo. Great to get the throw triple salchow late in the programme. That the 9th of the 11 elements for the team, and not just landing, but landing with good grade of execution. It's so physically demanding. Cannot stress enough how taxing the pair's discipline is. So obviously well prepped. They've competed multiple times already this season. The run-throughs abundant in practice, I'm sure, to prepare for this event. And as with their training mates, good choreographic or interesting transitional choice to open the program. As touched on, a raft of new pair teams, a raft of new skating nations. Great to see two teams from the Netherlands competing on the Senior Grand Prix. The 2-foot landing on the triple flip. And a step out as well, forcing judges to go down the grade of execution. 3 rotations for Dimitri, just 2 for Nika. On the toe loops. And the salchow, she rotated. Unfortunately, suffers a mandatory 1-point deduction for that fall. And the team did score the minimum points for World Championships. There's a minimum technical element score required to be able to compete at ISU Senior World Championships, and they did that at the Lombardia Trophy on the Challenger Series. And they're benefiting from the success of their teammates Danilova and Tsiba, who are next to skate, who placed in the top 10 at World Championships in Montpellier last season, facilitating 2 teams to compete for the Netherlands at Worlds in Saitama, Japan in March of next year. So their season still relatively early, still another 4 months of training and competition before the end of season World Championships in Japan. And new coaches as well, with Aliona Savchenko, and the infrastructure that she will need to create to facilitate great pair skating will be developed now, and the likes of Nika and Dimitri will be the start of what potentially could be a dynasty of Dutch pair skating in the future. 90.13 the free skate score. And they maintain their lead over Valencia, Piazza and Crafoord twins. Danilova and Tsiba from the Netherlands. Just mentioned 9th at World Championships in Montpellier. And they come into the free skate a comfortable near 9-point lead over the other teams. They'll be eager to try and push closer to the Germans above them after the short program.
When that Pharaoh Jerry comes, I'm gonna leave you. I'm bound for the promised land. I'm gonna leave you. I'm sorry, I'm gonna leave you. Farewell, farewell. I'll meet you in the morning. Farewell, farewell. I'll meet you in the morning.
Next element intended to be triple Sarkos, which let them down in their short program yesterday. Better today. Had the landing the throw triple loop. Managed the 2 double axels. So unfortunate. Bad fall on the throw triple flip. Fighting to recover now. Tough skate for Danilova and Tsiba from the Netherlands. No doubt the potential in both the throws. Obviously decent quality, good quality of technique on both throws, just unfortunate. Unable to stick the landings, particularly on that throw triple loop, the third element of the program. Daria appeared to have clung on, took a late fall. They had to withdraw from Skate America, so this, their first Grand Prix Series assignment this season. Daria didn't receive her visa in time to compete in Massachusetts. So competed last week, and I'm sure now ready for some rest and respite after back-to-back assignments. And it has to be acknowledged that some challenging performances in this first group as Klimov greets them off the ice. But the pairs discipline so incomprehensibly challenging. And we haven't seen Chinese teams competing on the Grand Prix Series this year. We won't see Russian teams. An opportunity, as I mentioned, for new emerging teams to compete. Lots of Italian teams on the Grand Prix Series this year. 2 Dutch teams competing. And they hopefully will inspire others of their nation to enter into the pairs discipline. Just challenging to amass the... Oh, that was so unfortunate, that fall. To amass the fundamental skating skills required for success at the elite stage, in addition to the incomprehensibly difficult physical feats required on the senior pair circuit, and the time division in training to honing and refining the basic skating skills. Not easy to achieve whilst balancing the need to get run-throughs done. This, the throw triple flip late in the program. And you can see not a lack of ability. This is just unfortunate. Wah. And then they bumped into each other later. So just good to see that there was some semblance of merriment and laughter at it. Just a nightmarish throw triple flip there result. But the team undoubtedly has the elements. All the lifts look solid. Triple salcho's early in the program of respectable quality, and a coaching staff that knows what is necessary for success. Just not a day that they want to relive. And I'm sure they'll be utterly exhausted after the 2 back-to-back competitions. So an 89.74 for Danilova and Tsiba. And they managed to stay ahead of the other teams overall, despite being second on the free skate. So that concludes the first group of 4 pair teams in the pairs free skate, with the Italians, Valencia and Piazza, moving up above Swedish twins Greta and John Crafoord, as we look to the next 4 teams taking to the ice. the first to skate after the warm-up, Efimova and Blommaert from Germany. And just a fraction of a point above them, Georgians Metelkina and Parkman. And then former American junior champions Smirnova and Siianytsia. Before the final team to compete, Ghilardi and Ambrosini from Italy, who boast over a 4-point margin ahead of the other teams following the short program. You can see really close scores after the short program, particularly from 4th to 2nd. But Ghilardi, Ambrosini, really comfortable lead. They looking favoured to take that final spot available at the Grand Prix final next month. It's great to see Elisa Efimova and Ruben Blommaert returning to the Grand Prix, having had to withdraw from Skate Canada. And they said following their short program that the injury sustained at Skate Canada completely gone, and that they want to attack the free skate. Understandably feeling nervous in this short program. It's often the case that after the event, skaters almost eager to return straight away to competition. Nerves pre-event, often preventing them from attacking the way that they might in practice. Metelkina and Parkman looking aggressive in their attack here. They said that they're not focused on the Grand Prix final, just want to skate and be better than before, but they come into this event with the same potential as Ghilardi and Ambrosini from Italy, having both secured 9 points in their respective first Grand Prix assignments, with 4th place results. Just 2 weeks ago when Metelkina and Parkman competed in Sheffield. Just a step out from Parkman on the side-by-side triple salto combination. And a step out there from the throw triple salto from Anastasia Smirnova. The American team had an injury for Daniil, which forced them to withdraw from Skate America. It's a hip injury for Daniil. Great to see them competing in their first senior Grand Prix, and they secured a personal best short program score yesterday. I'm sure they would love to replicate another PB with the free skate today. And the final couple, the most experienced of all the teams, multiple seasons together, and Olympians as well, having placed 14th in Beijing at the Winter Olympics earlier this year. Ghilardi and Ambrosini. They've struggled with the side-by-side jumping passes, the quality of their pairs elements continues to improve. And there you can see 2 double axels. They didn't choose to use the triple saltos, which they had started the season with. Tactically paid off in this short program with a comfortable lead. And unlike Metelkina and Parkman, they have acknowledged that they recognize that they have the potential to qualify for that Grand Prix final. They realize the big opportunity that that provides to them. Making no mistake that that is their goal, to come away from this event, that chance. And we would, in that case, see them again in 2 weeks' time. They would be joining compatriots Sara Conte and Nicolo Macci. They've already secured a spot at the Grand Prix final, following their bronze and silver medals on the Grand Prix series so far. Deep knee bend for Metelkina. Hasn't been optimal skates for the first 4 teams, struggling with the elements in their free skates. Sometimes that provides an air of ambiguity for the next group of skaters, not knowing what exactly has happened, and sometimes they can pick up on that. Trying to make sure that they channel their own experience, that residing and resting upon the training that they've done coming into this event. Coach Florian Jost just offering last-minute wisdom to Elisa Efimova and Ruben Blommaert, where they take to the ice. Elisa Efimova, Ruben Blommaert, second at the Finlandia Trophy in this arena on the Challenger Series. And although coming into the free skate in 4th place, such close scores after the short program, very likely that they could contend for a medal. Solid landing of the throw triple flip. With the side-by-side triple saltos. rare choice of forward outside edge in the death spiral. Efimova and Blommaert from Germany conclude their free skate. And as with others that we've seen before, struggling a little with the elements, the side-by-side jumping passes, incurring falls. And that was the element which hampered them in their short program. A shame that it looks as though the death spiral not given any value by the technical panel, deeming the positions, the low positions, not sustained or retained for long enough. And Elisa took to social media after Skate Canada, just explaining that they went into that event really well prepared and excited to perform their best in Mississauga, but the fall that they had on the throw triple loop in their short program made them unable to perform the free skate the next day. And that probably had a big impact on their expectations of the season, particularly because they came into the Grand Prix Series with 2 silver medals on the Challenger Series events. And knowing that there was potentially an opening this year at the beginning of a new Olympic cycle with retirements from others, for them to step up and potentially vie for a spot at the Grand Prix final. And certainly they have an undoubted quality that would look very much at home amidst those that have qualified already. Here, triple salcho's, fall for Ruben. And they said won't incur the mandatory 1 point deduction, but all sorts of errors for her too. Triple toe yesterday in their short program deemed under-rotated for Lisa, and the same I think here. Lisa, born in Finland. And as with the throw flip, both the throws of solid quality. So here, technical panel just assessing whether or not the positions are low enough. The women's low position, the lowest hip or buttock should be higher than her skating knee for outside death spiral. So perhaps that's the reason why it hasn't been called as yet. Technical panel just reviewing that element now. Death spiral, depending on the level, a comparatively easy 3-4 points that they'll lose out here. A freer reign for the teams to choose the edge of the death spiral in the free skate. Forward outside death spiral made popularized by Zhu Zhen and Hong Bojiao, the Chinese Olympic champions. So I suspect Efimova and Blommaert will be here at the European Championships. They will go on to compete at German Nationals. That's the next stop for many of the competitors here. National Championships midway through the season to decide upon the world team, European team, or 4 continents teams for the respective nations. And Elisa and Ruben will be eager to push back up to the bigger scores they had earlier this season. Their personal best coming from the Nebelhorn Trophy in Oberstdorf of 119. And indeed, the site of the Nebelhorn Trophy in Oberstdorf is their training location. A mecca for skating and one of the International Skating Union's centers of excellence. 108.29. Florian nodding in acceptance of their free skate score for his students. We have to wait now to see if that will be enough to provide them with a medal again here at the Espoo Arena. Anastasia Metelkina and Daniela Parkman, the first Georgian team to compete in the World Championship in pairs. And they're lying 15th in the Grand Prix standings with 9 points at present. Eager to see if they could qualify for the final. Double salto for Anastasia. Daniel continuing with the planned triple salto double to double loop. Hand down there on side-by-side triple toes. Quality landing on the throw triple loop. Bookmarking the program with a similar start and finish position for Anastasia, Metelkina and Daniil Parkman from Georgia. And submarring that opening double salcho instead of the intended triple sal double toe double loop for Anastasia. Generally a good skate for the Georgian team. When they competed in Sheffield 2 weeks ago, they had double toes, so there was an improvement from that event on that element. And the throw triple loop here in Espoo better than it was at the MK John Wilson Trophy 2 weeks ago, where they posted 106.9 in their free skate. Remains to be seen how close or better they will be here. I think the skating skills diminished and suffered latterly in the program, with the transitional content getting slower and weaker, but you can see it's hard to imagine the physicality of a pairs free skate. Had each of these athletes a heart rate monitor on them, you would see how incredibly challenging it is. This, the opening, you can see Anastasia just 2 rotations on the double salcho and electing not to do the intended double toe double loop after it. And the consequence is that the element will only receive the value of her double despite the efforts of Danil on that element. Clean catch on split triple twist. Side by side triple toes, which were doubled in Sheffield. Will receive the full base value of a triple, just a negative grade of execution because of the hand down. And you can see in Anastasia the refinement and quality in the way in which she holds her body, good body alignment. If we were to nitpick, there could be even more life and extension perhaps in the lift, but fatigue understandably setting in. And Danil, undoubtedly an incredibly strong athlete, started to just rise up out of his knees a little bit towards the latter part of the program, and so the skating skills component score lower, I think, than the Germans who have just competed before them. And using a lift more commonly seen on the ice dance event as transitional content for their choreo sequence. So after this short program, Metelkina and Parkman were ahead of the German team, Efimova and Blommaert, who have just performed by just 13 hundredths of a point.
Mr. King. Mr. King. Come on, Dad.
Just acknowledging the coaching staff and the parents. And the kiss and cry. Germans had 108.29, so they need 108.17. They haven't done that, falling short by over 4 points. So second place in the free skate, and that will take them off the podium, depending on what happens from those left to skate. So Metelkina and Parkman may have another 4th place finish in addition to that which they had 2 weeks ago, as we look ahead to the final 2 competitors in the pairs free skate.
On the ice representing the United States of America, Anastasia Smirnova, Danilova Siianytsia.
Anastasia Smirnova and Danilova Siianytsia, a team that had a personal best in this short program in what was their first senior Grand Prix assignment. And the former American junior champions using Lara Fabian's Je suis malade for their free skate.
Je ne sais même plus, je n'ai même plus l'histoire.
Fabulous triple salchos. Good speed in and out of that first element. Well extended and match free legs too. And the split twist perfectly on the musical accent. Again, musically phrased well, but just a two-footed landing on the throat triple salcho. Demonstrating strength and flexibility through the choreo sequence. Bailing on the rotation there of the triple toe for Anastasia. Not managing to sustain the lift. No value for the Group 3 lift. Well, challenges in the free skate, particularly laterally. And the program suffered following that fall on the intended triple toe for Anastasia. That said, so much to admire, and a team that has a really good style and aesthetic across the ice. Conscious that there are lots of quality teams coming out of the States, most from the stable of Jenny Mino and Todd Sand, former world pair medalist himself, but this team acknowledging that their coach, Trudy Altmans, has so much for them to thank. Daniil started working with this coach in 2016, partnering Smirnova in 2018, and he said he thinks they make a good team because their coaches make them great. And here on the opening side-by-side triple salchos, not just landed, but landed with a unison in technique and stylization as well. She said that the coach pays attention to everything. Tupudulani there on the Sako. Truly taught Daniil everything about pairs from the very beginning, and he trusts everything she says and does, even if he doesn't trust himself. And they now will likely look towards the US National Championships here as we look at the side-by-side triple toes. You can see just bailing there for Anastasia. She said that one of the best aspects of moving from juniors to seniors is the need not to do double axel in the short program, her least favorite jump. But unfortunately, having difficulties and challenges with the triple toe today. I think this team definitely has some serious potential just off the podium at Junior World Championships in Tallinn, Estonia last season.
Please take the scores. Anastasia, Smirnova, Danilova, Siianytsia, or
It's 102.11. Higher than they had here at this arena at the Finlandia Trophy, but not enough likely to keep them on the podium. But for me, a team with a huge amount of potential, and look forward to seeing how they develop, and hopefully they won't take away too many frustrations dropping from the second place they had in the short program. And now to the final team competing in the pairs free skate. They were second at the Italian National Championships and eager to take the last spot at the Grand Prix final in 2 weeks' time. Rebecca Ghilardi and Filippo Ambrosini. Double Sakos. Slight touchdown with the left foot on the landing of the throw, triple loop. No such issue on the throw triple loops. Elation for Ghilardi and Ambrosini, who I'm sure know that they will have done enough to win their first Grand Prix title and to take part in their first Grand Prix final. And Rebecca and Filippo demonstrating performance abilities with such a broad range. They had the Freddie Mercury Queen short program and the Barber of Seville for their free skate, both of which perfectly performed and presented appropriately to the music, making them very popular with the crowd and skating fans around the world, and indeed with other skaters. Former Canadian national champion Kirsten Murtars took to Twitter to sing their praises as well, having got to know them through the Olympic Games, and obviously great performers, great humans, as they are hugged by their coaching staff, Andre Otrek and Franca Bianconi. And from the very start of the program, not allowing the understandable nerves and pressure that they must have felt coming into the free skate to prevent them from delivering on the performance, facial expressions abundant. The challenge for this team moving forward as they go to the Grand Prix final likely. The side-by-side triple salchows will have to return to their planned program content if they are to vie to continue climbing the world rankings. But the pairs elements, all three lifts, delivered with a smile and confidence. And even here in the slow motion of the forward inside death spiral, committed to the expression from Rebecca. And Nicole Della Monica, now retired. Matteo Garisi, former Italian champions. He now has a new partner, but Rebecca and Filippo hoping to step up onto the top spot of the Italian National Championship podium in what is an increasingly successful nation for pair skating. Likely now that 1/3 of the entries at the Grand Prix final come from Italy in the pairs competition, which has not happened before. The performance in the kiss and cry, indication of the fun that is happening in training where they are in Bergamo. So they had 113 in their first Grand Prix assignment in France, 122.43, and the lead that they had after the short program now extended for a total score of 189.74, and that a new personal best for the Italians. And they take from this 15 points. And that guarantees them a place at the Grand Prix final in 2 weeks' time in their home country. So nearly a 20-point lead for Ghilardi and Ambrosini. And German team Efimova and Blommaert move up from 4th after the short program to take the silver ahead of Anastasia Metelkina and Daniela Parkman, who despite disappointment in their free skate managed to stay in 3rd place. So that concludes the first of 4 competitions today at the Espoo Metro Arena. Shortly we'll get to see some replays of the top 3 teams ahead of the start of the women's free skate. And we will see 2 champions from previous Grand Prix going head to head, with Luna Hendricks leading after the short program ahead of Japan's Mai Mahara. Anastasia Metelkina and Daniela Parkman, they were 4th 2 weeks ago at the MK John Wilson Trophy. And, taking a bronze from the Grand Prix Espoo in Finland. Just behind the German team, Elisa Efimova and Ruben Blommaert had to withdraw from Skate Canada because of a fall on this element, the throw triple loop in the short program, showing almost textbook quality there. And their skating skills and program component scores helping them to secure a silver medal in addition to the silver they had at the Finlandia Trophy. But it was the Italians Rebecca Ghilardi and Filippo Ambrosini who were utterly triumphant. A sizable lead in the short program was extended significantly in the free skate, and they win this competition, taking 15 points to add to the 9 that they had at their first event, and now they take the final spot at the Grand Prix final in 2 weeks' time. So huge congratulations to Rebecca Ghilardi, Filippo Ambrosini in winning the pairs competition. We'll get to see them in the exhibition gala tomorrow. But for now, an ice resurface. Make sure to join us for the next event, which will be the women's free skate coming up next.